Kia ora everyone. Today's trade was all about patience and precision. I waited for an A quality setup and took a single trade on ENSC that ticked all the boxes. Let's break it down. So when I first got up this morning, let's bring up the chart here, SNOA and AGRI were the leading gainers. SNOA here sort of popped up around 6:30 and made a move up to 7 AM. So I missed all this move here. I wasn't quite ready to trade and yeah, had a couple of things to deal with as I began my trading session. So I didn't trade any of this move on the front side, and as soon as it hit 7 o'clock, it hit that high and then pulled back and just faded through the rest of pre-market. So I didn't trade SNOA. The other stock that was up was AGRI. This stock was a little bit cheap for me. It was just on the border of my price range, and when I first saw it, it sort of popped up above $2 here around quarter to 7, but then it had faded down to below $2, so it was a little bit cheap. I didn't see the break of VWAP, but I saw it as it pushed further over 230, up to 230, and then pulled back. I didn't take a trade on it here on the pullback, big topping tail there, and also I didn't think it was going to go that far, so I didn't take a trade as it pulled back through this area here and looked a bit choppy, so yeah, left that one alone as well. Did push to a high 262 and then it faded as well, and I don't think I looked at it again. Nah, it just stayed below VWAP the whole pre-market session. Next one that popped up was UPXI for me. So UPXI is a continuation stock from yesterday, and this popped around 7:45. Popped up from about $10 up to over around 1160 here. I saw it here as it was pushing, I think on this candle here through to here. That was where I first saw it. It pulled back down to $11 and I pushed the buy key for 11.05 and the order rejected. So I forgot that yesterday I couldn't trade this because it was a margin restricted stock. So I can't trade it with the account size I have. So went to buy in at 11.05, order got rejected, and then it pushed all the way to $12.09. So that would have been a great trade if, if I was allowed to trade it. I got a little bit annoyed with that, but then I said to myself, well, it's only, you miss a lot of stocks all the time that you can't trade. This is one of those stocks. It's not any fault of your own, it's just the way it is. So let that go and moved on from that stock. Yeah. So I didn't trade UPXI in the end, and the next stock was ENSC. So this popped up just after 8 o'clock, and I saw that around here as it was pushing up through 380. And I did think about where I could get in on this stock. I thought about seeing what it did first, and it started pulling back. So I looked at around 360, 355 as an entry as it pulled back, and I didn't take that position. So I was sort of mucking around here when I should have been hitting the buy button at 355, as it did push up pretty much straight away to around 390. So possibly could have had a decent trade straight off the bat there if I was quick enough. And I think that sometimes I am not quite quick enough to get these quick scalp trades on these stocks. So put an order in there again at 355, but now there's a big red candle, and yeah, I'm just not quite sure about this trade. So I'm a bit hesitant in getting in. I'm going to speed it up a bit because I fluff around deciding whether I'm going to get in at 355 or not, and to be honest, I miss this whole move. So pulls back, it pulls back. There's a lot of topping, these topping tail candles through here. Big red candle as well. So not sure about getting in on this stock. At the moment, the MACD is still open. It's still moving up. It is making a higher low now and a higher high here over that previous candle. And so really now it's holding on VWAP. And this is where possibly a good buy in here as it's holding VWAP, or as it's coming up to break this line there. So it broke there, and that would have been an entry. As it broke through that consolidation point there, it was a good entry, and then it broke up to 450, and you know that would have been a decent trade there, getting in around 390 and a push to 450. It would have been a great trade, but I didn't get in there. I missed the entry here as well on that mini pullback, and I decided that it's pulling back here, it's doing a decent pullback, I'll get in at 447. Got filled at 447, looking for it to hold around the $0.50. It didn't, it pushed lower, and even though it's sort of lower volume red, it keeps pulling back, and it's actually past my stop point. I should have really stopped out here, but it pushed up there, and I'm thinking about selling here, just getting out and stopping out. I don't. I think no, it's buying up still. It's bought up off the 9 EMA, so it looks like it's going to hold. And there's good sort of green volume coming in on these candles. So I was, and this candle looked like it was going to break. It did. I thought it was going to go there, but it didn't, and kept pulling back. So I held right through this section here. So I'm just going to speed it up a bit. And possibly should have stopped out and bought back in. Probably would have been an okay plan as well, but I didn't do that. My original plan was actually to buy in here, and as it pushed, I was expecting it to push to around $5. That was the plan. It would break through here, push up to $5, $4.90, $5, and I'd take my profit there. But it didn't go quickly, and so I held through this whole section here, and then as it came up here, I placed an order just below the previous high. So I placed an order in at 465, and as it pushed up, I got filled at 465, and that was my trade. It did push further and did go up to 520 eventually, as it pushed up here. And even if I hadn't placed that order there, I probably would have sold around there anyway, because it was hitting some resistance there, and it took a bit to break through that level. So I possibly, even though I placed an order there, if I hadn't, I probably would have sold around there anyway. So I was happy with that, and walked away with $18 profit on ENSC. So I think after that it actually pulled back anyway. Problem though here is that I was feeling a little bit of FOMO because I sold a bit early on this stock, and I thought about taking another trade. But you know, I didn't in the end. I just thought, no, I'm sticking to my plan. One trade today, it's green, so I decided to walk away. So I was quite patient today, waiting for the right stock. ENSC met all the criteria of an A quality stock for me. It was low float. It was the right price, between $2 and $10. It's sort of my target range at the moment. And you know, it was the leading gapper, or the leading gainer on the day, and it was on the front side of the move. So, you know, it was a good stock for me to trade. And then my trade was still what I would consider an A quality setup. It just didn't resolve straight away. So if I bring up my stat sheet for the day, so yep, $18 profit, 447 entry, 465 exit, and yeah, good trade on the day. So for the week, I've got 3 green days in a row, and the last 5 days I've traded have been green. I've still got a long way to go to get out of the drawdown, but it is a bit of a grind. So this week, if I keep getting green, and the next 2 days, if I'm green on those days, next week I'll increase my share size to 200 shares probably. But I think if I reach over $100 in profit for the week, I'll definitely increase my share size. If I don't quite reach that, we'll see how I go. I may have to keep to 100 shares because of my account size anyway. Small green day, and happy with how I managed this one overall. Even if I sold it a little early, I had some FOMO though, as I did think about taking another trade after selling early. But you know, shutting everything down and walking away from my trading station, I think was the right decision in the end. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to keep following the journey. Real trades, real lessons, every session. See you in the next one. Hei ao pōpō.